In this video, we will look at how AI and machine learning is used in different industries. So AI is a chief value driver and it's useful for decreasing expenses, improving decision making, improving productivity, also for enhancing reliability and security. In some cases, it is also useful for coming up with new product and services. If you look at the different sectors where AI and machine learning is used, the financial services, consumer internet, and telecom sector leads in the adoption of AI and as well as in the future demand. So the chart here that is shown has x-axis with current AI adoption and y-axis as future AI demand. We see that some of the sectors like construction, there are not much in terms of future AI demand and lags behind other sectors, but all the sectors use AI and machine learning for driving value. So there are interesting problems in every sector where AI and machine learning is used. We will look at some of the problems in the subsequent slides. In the telecom domain, you guys would have come across the churn reduction problem. Churn prediction is predicting when customers are more likely to discontinue the service and move to an alternate telecom provider. If you are able to successfully identify those customers, we can introduce some kind of intervention so that they don't shift to the competitor. From the operations perspective, AI and machine learning is used in telecom for predictive maintenance of the network infrastructure. It's also useful for optimizing call center service. Other than that, AI and machine learning is used for pricing, promotions, giving discounts to the customers who are most deserving, and for predicting customer lifetime value. Moving on to financial services. In financial services, more pressing problems are in fraud detection and in risk modeling. Risk modeling, we have insurance risk and we have models for credit risk, etc. In fraud detection, we want to be able to identify customers who engage in some kind of financial fraud. For example, we can have somebody impersonating another person in opening a bank account or in doing a transaction. So we want to be able to capture or identify these kinds of frauds in real time. So here we use machine learning for identifying fraud. In the financial sector, regulations are also very important. So we use AI and machine learning to see and check how compliant we are with regulations. If there are any non-compliance, we identify those non-compliance using the AI and machine learning algorithms. We are also using AI and machine learning for giving personalized recommendations for financial advice. So we have many applications in financial sector for investing, portfolio management, so and for trading stocks. For all these different use cases, AI and machine learning is used widely in the financial services domain. Moving on to retail sector, we use AI and machine learning for inventory and merchandising. We should be able to do demand forecasting and plan the inventory. We want to be able to avoid overstocking or going out of stock. So using machine learning, we'll be able to do some kind of forecast, and the successful forecasting of the demand will help us in planning the inventory and the merchandising. There are a host of other models in customer personalization which are very useful in the e-commerce domain, where we optimize the e-commerce funnel for better conversion. So in all those problems, AI and machine learning is very useful for in the retail domain. Moving on to manufacturing sector, AI and machine learning is used for predictive maintenance. So, in the manufacturing sector, we have data coming from sensors that are positioned on the machines. From these data, we are able to successfully see which part of your manufacturing pipeline needs some kind of maintenance or repair. This way, we can avoid any kind of unexpected downtime and reduce maintenance cost and improve overall efficiency. Manufacturing companies also use robotic operators and autonomous guided vehicles to operate their production floor. For all this robotic process, AI and machine learning is extensively used. In agriculture, we use AI and machine learning for crop monitoring and soil monitoring. Here we using sensors such as moisture sensors and weather sensors and monitor the environment that affect the crop growth. Any anomalies will be automatically detected using AI. You can also use AI to look at crop images if they are infested. With the data collected from the sensors in an agricultural field, it is possible to get a map of the whole agricultural farm and do some precision farming. Precision farming is controlling the exact amount of inputs that are needed and that has to be applied to a particular farm or field in order to get a certain kind of yield. So that is called as precision farming. For doing all this planning and forecasting, AI and machine learning is very useful. In the energy sector, AI can optimize the distribution of energy across the grid to reduce any waste and improve efficiency. For example, by analyzing the data on energy usage patterns, AI algorithm can predict which area are likely to experience peak demand and adjust the energy distribution accordingly. Moving on to travel and transportation. In the travel sector, companies like Expedia and Make My Trip use AI and machine learning for creating journey plans, personalize the UX based on the customer affinity and inclinations. Transportation companies like Ola and Uber use AI and machine learning to match riders to the nearest cab. There are other problems like travel route optimization as well as dynamic pricing, where AI and machine learning is extensively used by companies in these sectors. In the healthcare, we use AI and machine learning to do accurate diagnosis. For example, in the case of diagnosis of brain tumors, we are now able to do accurate diagnosis using AI and machine learning of these brain tumors in few minutes. Previously, it used to take several weeks to do a diagnosis. AI and machine learning has been very effective in also finding new drugs and vaccines. Genetic research is one of the standard big data application where we use AI and machine learning to understand disease causing mutations, and these can be useful in gene therapy. In the education sector, we are able to use AI and machine learning to personalize the learning. Companies like Coursera use AI and machine learning to do automatic assessment, and these assessment questions are adaptively changed based on the student response to the previous questions. Khan Academy is now coming up with a teaching assistant tool called as Khanmigo, which can provide one-to-one teaching experience to students. There are also new and exciting opportunities for content creation driven by generative AI. In the construction and real estate sector, building information modeling and digital twins of buildings are used to assist in the construction and the maintenance of these buildings. With the building information model, we use AI and machine learning to do better planning and come up with predictable timelines which can help reduce the risk of the project. Companies like Magic Bricks use AI and machine learning to estimate property prices. In the consumer tech, we use AI and machine learning f- to optimize the customer purchase funnel, to do recommendations, and for cross selling. Finally, in the entertainment sector, generative AI has been used to generate creative content, and we are now seeing new kinds of experiences in games which are driven by AI and machine learning. I have this final slide here which list out different domains, and I have an example startup that is operating in the Indian ecosystem. So we see these startups are using AI and machine learning, and these are all operating in different domains, starting from, say, real estate, education, call centers, etc. So that's all I have for this video. See you in the next video. Thank you.